For the first time this year, the Leafs lose a game when leading after 2 periods of play. They were incredible coming into the game at holding those leads. I never mentioned them because we don't want to jinx that kind of stuff. The media comes out today, and of course they're going to blabber on about all that, especially when the Leafs have the lead after 2 periods of play. And they lose 3-2 in overtime to the Vancouver Canucks. This is the great thing about hockey, people. You beat a great team in Calgary one night, and you lose to the Canucks the next night. It happens. It's hockey. It's what it is. And anybody telling me the Leafs aren't a great team, I don't know what sport you're watching. The Leafs, with their loss in overtime today, are 41-21-5. If my math is correct, that is an incredible record. And it's just because you're in some crazy division that you're third. It's the way it works. Now let's talk about the game. First period, it was a goaltender's, dream in the first period. Both goalies making big save after big save, and Vancouver outshoots the Leafs 15-8 in that period. However, it's a 0-0 hockey game after 1 period of play. Second period rolls around, and over midway through, Leafs are short-handed. Mitch Marner, a short-handed break. Who's that coming up with him? Is that Tavares? Is that Jake Muzzin, maybe? No, it's Ron Hainsey. And Mitch Marner waits and waits. The puck is not settling down. He finds a cross-seam pass to Hainsey, who buries it into the empty net. His 5th goal of the year. Short-handed, Marner and Connor Brown grab the assist. And with that assist by Mitch Marner, here we go. That is his 82nd point of the year. Bottom line, the worst he can possibly be is a point-per-game player at 82 points in 82 games. But that's only if he doesn't get a point the rest of the way, and I kind of don't see that happening. With the 82nd point, he ties Phil Kessel for the most points in a single season by a Maple Leaf in the 2000 era. 99-2000. Since that year, Phil Kessel had the most points as a Toronto Maple Leaf with 82. Mitch Marner has tied that mark tonight against the Canucks. Now, not even a minute after that, 34 seconds after that, John Tavares gets the puck down low and centers it to Morgan Rielly, who beats Jacob Markstrom short side. Not a goal he wants in. Morgan Rielly scores a goal at home. Leafs play an amazing second period, outshoot the Canucks 11-5. Win the second period 2-0, and you're going into the third period with the lead 2-0. And the Leafs come out flat, and I gotta say, as much as Frederik Andersen had a great first 2 periods, made all 20 saves, that Louis Eriksson goal, I was not a huge fan of. However, you still got a 1-goal lead, but it was only 2:21 into the period, and we're like, man, he's got a whole period to go. Just under 2 minutes after that, on the power play, isn't it Leafs characteristic, or Toronto sports in general, that Josh Leivo comes down on a power play and ties the game? DeMar DeRozan against the Toronto Raptors, first career triple-double. Okay. It just makes sense. David Price against the Jays, every game, beats the snot out of them. Troy Tulowitzki, in his first spring training game, first spring training at bat against the Blue Jays, hits a home run. Former players haunt Toronto sports teams. And you saw it today. Again. Josh Leivo scores 4:13 into the period, and just like that, we're tied. Lots of chances for both teams down the stretch into the third period. Leafs outshoot the Canucks 10-8 in the third period. But Leafs, or ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already realized, the shots on goal stat is totally meaningless. The Leafs outshoot the Canucks 10-8, yet they lose the period 2-0. Go to figure. And then you go to overtime, and the Leafs really can't get anything going. No sustained pressure. And the big thing about overtime is winning faceoffs. Because once you get possession of the puck, you know, you just start skating, and then you find a wide open lane, and you're all the way to the races. That's what happened tonight in overtime. And it took a stretch pass from Brock Besser to Alex Edler. On the rush, a defenseman, hold on, 32-year-old defenseman. Risks it past Frederik Andersen to win in overtime. Freddie, I love you. I think you and me both want that goal back. But it's the game of hockey. You'll never see the Suns. Well, you did see them beat I guess you saw them beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, I think it was yesterday or a couple days ago. But it doesn't happen too often at all. In the sport of hockey, it happens all the time. You know, every moment to think a team's down and out, they find a way to win, and then they get on a roll. Look at Edmonton. They can't win a damn thing if they've won 3 straight. It happens. Leaf fans, you got a point. I mean, as much as I don't want to look at it that way, I'll take it. I don't see the Bruins losing anytime soon, so just keep Montreal off your tail, and we see the playoff picture right in our mirror, or right in our windshield, I guess. It's right in front of us. You see it coming, Leaf fans. We got to prepare for it. Expect Bruins on the road to start. Now, if the Bruins somehow go on a losing streak and the Leafs can continue to get points and continue running through teams, other than today, then all right. But the way the Boston's play, I don't know when the last time they lost in regulation was. It has been quite some time. So, if you're the Leafs, you look at this game and you're like, well, we should have closed this game out. We did not come out and actually skate in the third period. You take a stupid penalty. You're tied. You don't get the lead back and you lose. This is a game that you don't want to look back on. You know, you played a good second period. You didn't play a great first, but Frederik Andersen kept you in it. You played a great second and had a 2-0 lead. Third period, you didn't have a great start, and you were down, and they scored 2 quick goals. And you came on later in the period, but you didn't score. And then in overtime, shots on goal were 4-0 in favor of Vancouver. Leafs got nothing going in overtime there. It was kind of rough to watch out there. But again, as much as Freddie Andersen didn't have his prototypical night, 3 goals on 31 shots, and 2 of the 3 goals I'm not a huge fan of. The Josh Levo goal, it was just a perfect shot right inside the post far side. Looked like Phil Kessel out there. And Phil Kessel leaving the Leafs and winning 2 Stanley Cups. There you go. So, look, you got to take this for what it is, guys. The Leafs are out West Coast. You have that 3-game swing, and of a possible 4 points, you have 3 right now. I'll take it for the time being. Would I have loved this extra point tonight? Should the Leafs have had this extra point? Yeah, they probably should have. But they didn't play a good first 5 minutes of the third period. We've talked about it many times. First 5 minutes of a period, the final 5 of a period. And you watch this game in the first period and the second period, the final, 30 seconds to a minute of each period were dominated by the Canucks, but they didn't score. And they come out in the third period in the first 5 minutes and score 2. Close the period, start the period on time. The Leafs didn't. And they lost in overtime. But like I said, I'll take a point. Look, guys, we're not even at the 70-point mark, and the Leafs are at 86 points. 80, I think it's 87. 87 points. That's pretty darn good, guys. I'm pretty sure they're on pace to pass last year's total in points. They're playing having a great time. The new revamped fourth line was supposed to be a big thing in tonight's game. I didn't see a whole lot about them. I mean, there were times where I'm like, oh, there's the speed. They didn't really get a whole lot going. They didn't have a lot to go against them, but they didn't really get a lot going offensively. So it was kind of a test. Well, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing them out there in the next game against the Oilers. But it's the way it goes, guys. So the Leafs have 2 days off, Thursday and Friday, before they head to Edmonton to take on the Oilers. Frederik Andersen and Mikko Koskinen, the expected starters in that game on Saturday night. 7 o'clock puck drop there in Edmonton. And guys, I've kept this thing around because the teams have been playing pretty well. The Leafs have been on a nice little roll, and the Raptors have been a nice little roll. The Raptors now lost 2 straight games, and the Leafs lost 1 game. Tomorrow, this is gone. And I told you guys there was going to be a Jays video today. I didn't get a chance to do so. Tomorrow, after the podcast, I will record it and do that for you guys. I promise that'll be uploaded tomorrow. All right, so guys, you know what? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys did not enjoy the ending of this game. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below, guys. What'd you think of the game? I thought it was a really energetic game, really fast game. It was a lot of fun to watch. Two great young teams going at it. It was a lot of fun. And, of course, Canadian teams. Leaf fans and Vancouver fans out there, and Vancouver fans out there battling out in the stands. It's always great to see. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe button, all that stuff. Comment down below. What are your thoughts towards this game? Where do you think the Leafs went wrong there early in the third period? And, Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition, like I just said, tomorrow afternoon. Link is in the description for the podcast channel, guys, and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I will talk to you guys. Jay's edition tomorrow afternoon. We'll be talking about the first, 10 games, I guess it is, of spring training. Who's impressing me? Who's not? How's Vladdy doing? All that great stuff. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's video for the Blue Jays. As for the Raptors, guys, they take on, I think they play on Friday. Isn't that correct? Friday in New Orleans, taking on the Pelicans. 8 o'clock tip-off there as the Raptors look to get back into the win column after 2 tough losses. One in the overtime against Detroit. In the last game, he's not so good against James Harden and the Houston Rockets, all right? And as for the Leafs, guys, like we said, we'll talk to you guys Saturday night as the Leafs head to Edmonton to take on Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. Mikko Koskinen, Frederik Andersen are the expected starters in that game on Saturday night. All right, 7 o'clock puck drop there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you guys then.